So this is a challenge that I've tried multiple times, but this time around I'm gonna give it a go for real. As you can see in her name, we're gonna give Disney Princess Challenge another go. So if you've never heard of the Disney Princess Challenge before, let me pull up the rules for you. As the name goes, it is based on the Disney Princess franchise and movies, where we can basically follow the original story, so we can just roll with it, and the story will last for 10 generations. Now we're gonna start with our first generation, and it's Snow White. I'm wishing for the one I love to find me today. So according to the rule, we can either start her as a teenager, where we can make her evil stepmother and begins a story there. But it mentions here that it is not a requirement, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to jump ahead straight to young adult. I also made her eyes super big because why not? She's a Disney princess. So these are the important rules in Generation 1. Number 1, she must be a female. Of course, she's Snow White. In the original Snow White, she lives with the 7 dwarfs, but in this game, we're going to make her have 7 children, and these 7 children are considered as the dwarfs. Oh, it's my favorite part of cast, which is picking the hair, and also will take the longest.
Because I have so many good CC hair.
All of these children must have one negative trait each. For example, gloomy or glutton. We're going to try to keep it to the roles of the dwarfs. They must also come from one baby daddy. So our Snow White cannot have more than one lover throughout her life, or at least until she have gotten all her 7 dwarfs or children. Look at me going back and forth with the hair. Then each child must also achieve something before their teenage years. This can either be reaching level 5 in a toddler skill, reaching level 3 in all of the toddler skills, completing their childhood aspiration, or becoming an A-grade student. And since I have the parenthood pack, each child must also age up with at least one positive character trait. According to the rule as well, Snow can never answer the door to strangers or even talk to older women. I've played before where I tried to give each of the Disney princesses its, looks based on the time it was released. For example, Snow White was released in the 1950s. So initially I wanted to give her a 1950s look. But then I thought, for this time around, maybe I just want to give a modern twist to all of the Disney princesses and give them new look based on the character of the Disney princesses, but something more modern. But I do want to get the basic right. So for example, Snow has to be really, really fair. Her hair is dark. Her lips are red. Lips red as the rose, hair black as ebony, and skin fair as snow. And voila, Snow White. Then I was also thinking, what kind of backstory should I give my modern version of Snow White? I feel like I'm gonna give my own twist to it, and I do not want to follow too much to the original storyline, just to make it more interesting. Look at me keeping to the theme. Let me just pull up a Snow White photo for y'all to refer to. Blue tops and yellow skirt. Okay, where was I just now? We were talking about... so the original storyline, Snow White was obviously banished. Not banished, she was supposed to be killed by the huntsman, but the huntsman took pity on her and asked her to hide in the forest, where she met with the dwarfs. So of course in our story, we do not have the stepmother, we do not have the huntsman. Now, the question is, why does our version of Snow goes to the cottage, and why does she live alone, and why is she never interacting with strangers? So I was thinking maybe in her childhood she lived a very, very protected life, and she used to have her parents taking care of her, but then they perhaps passed away. So Snow was obviously left alone to fend for herself. Now, before the parents passed away, they've always told her to never trust strangers. The parents were really, really overprotective. And growing up, Snow never really interacted with anyone before. But of course, she had a really good bond with her parents. And I think that is the reason why she wanted to have many, many children. And, hence the 7 dwarfs. Now, I actually I still haven't figured out how is she going to meet with her Prince Charming. Because if she can't talk to strangers, she can't open her doors to strangers. So how is she going to meet the Prince Charming? So I think I'm gonna leave that up to fate, because I think what we can do is maybe, later on take Snow to the woods or take Snow to the town. She can't open her door to strangers, but she can still meet up with strangers elsewhere outside of her house. That it wasn't stated in the rule that can't be done. And I think that's it. We've gotten all the looks for Snow White. Now we're gonna look at her aspiration and her traits. So I gave her the successful lineage aspiration to match with the fact that she's going to have 7 children. We make her family oriented. I also made her, I was racking my brain, and I decided to make her creative, because I thought that maybe when she was growing up alone, she wanted something to do, and so she decided that she wanted to dabble into arts, and that's how she became a creative person. And of course, she's a romantic. That is exactly how she met with Prince Charming. Now comes to decide where should Snow live in. So at first I wanted to make her live at Handford-on-Bagley. But then I decided no, I wanted to make her live somewhere more secluded, where there are not enough houses around, where, she doesn't really have neighbors. And so finally I settled to make her live in Glimmerbrook. So we're gonna pick the smallest house here, the Brooks Bridge Borough, simply because I still want to have that cottage vibe for Snow White. We're gonna make it unfurnished, so we give her a little challenge to make to make her story more interesting. So I think that's it for today. In the next episode, I'm gonna give some renovation to the cottage, because she's supposed to have lived here before with her parents. And then we're gonna start with our Gen 1 of the Disney Princess Challenge. I'm so excited! This is my first ever YouTube video, so please leave a comment and let me know what you guys think, and let me know, how can I make this story better. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!